This is an open letter for Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy and Ms. Ann Coulter. Uh, I was listening to you folks. Uh, the idea of citizenship came up, and you were wondering why Miss Ann Coulter associates citizenship with her race, uh, and you think that's unfair to associate citizenship with a certain ethnicity, that certain people of certain ethnicity can be trusted more, that they are one of us, and they can be trusted more because at least they're the same complexion as us, and at least they all know Shakespeare. They don't know anybody else, but they know Shakespeare. Anyway, that's good enough for that. That's the whole point. Uh, here's the thing. Unfortunately, I don't think. Forget about Miss Ann Coulter and her, nationalist, racist agenda. In your case, forget about that. I'm not even going to, respond to that. Uh, with regards to your idea that no, this contract is that we signed, the contract of citizenship that we signed, that should be good enough to make me equal to Mr. Trump or Ms. Coulter. Me as Vivek Ramaswamy, I should be equal because I signed that contract of citizenship. And that should go above all. And, you and Ms. Coulter both concluded that that's doesn't will not happen. As long as Anglo-Saxons have taken the land over and they got the deed. The Anglo-Saxons have got the deed. That's why we don't pay our taxes to the Redskins. We pay our taxes to the Anglo-Saxon, or people who work for Anglo-Saxons. Anyway, people who push Anglo-Saxon agenda. The point is this, Mr. Ramaswamy. Forget about Ann Coulter and her ideas. I don't think your ideas of the contract that we sign should bear more weight, more legitimacy than our ethnicity. That's basically your idea. I don't think even this idea can cut it anymore, Mr. Ramaswamy, because, like it or not, because of the internet, the neural network of the planet has become one body. Before the internet, the planet was not the same, was of the same body. You could have, you know, beat the crap out of one part of the planet, and the other part of the planet would not notice at all. You could beat the crap out of one side of the planet, just demolish it, and your people would not, from on the other side of the planet, you would not be disturbed even with images and pictures and videos. Forget about actually experiencing it. They they wouldn't even, their children wouldn't even have to see the pictures and videos. But now, they're they're targeting TikTok exactly because of this, because it's bringing images back home, and the big images are making the kids, you know making kids who are sane a little emotional, wondering why they're alive and their peers are dying under the bombs on some other part of the planet. And so that brings some emotion to the surface. Here's the thing: you can't stop this, neither by banning TikTok, nor by having people sign a citizenship loyalty paper contract that they will not succumb to feeling any emotions towards these motherfuckers that we are having our way with. You can't do that. You just not possible. The only way that's possible is if uh, you cut internet altogether on the planet. Because even if you pass laws to protect your own children from seeing, you know, what you're doing, which is basically protecting interests of the nation state. Here's what the problem with your citizenship idea and making citizenship more important than ethnicity. Forget about it. This ethnicity, you can't even make citizenship more important. You can't make either of them important because the neural network has made one body out of humanity, and you can no longer, your people, you can see images, and even if you ban the TikTok in your piece of land, in your real estate, the neighboring real estate, they have TikTok and their children have TikTok, and after a while you will see that Mexicans and Canadians are looking at you sideways as if like, what are you doing? They're going to look at their American cousins. Both Mexicans and Canadians are going to look at their American cousins and ask them, what the fuck are you doing? And when the guy says, what do you mean? You're not banning all social media, you're just banning TikTok. And when in other social media, Mexican kids ask Mexican American kids, their cousins, what you're doing, and when the American cousins, his or her response is going to be ignorance. It's like, what do you mean? And then the pictures and the videos are going to come through an email or other apps that are international. So my point is this: national citizenship, no, it can no longer cut it, because pushing national interest agenda, it's like setting your own hand on fire. Now in Ukraine in one hand and Israel in the other hand, they're both on fire. You see what I'm saying? I say they're your hand that are on fire is because of the neural network has made the whole humanity like one body, one human, one body. The black people are one leg, and the brown people are the other leg, and the yellow people are a hand, and the red people are the other hand. And you see where I'm going with this? So you set fire to the West Asia with the brown people, and that's like your hand is burning. Why? Because it's part of your body. The neural network is going to carry the painful images and pictures to the rest of the body, and the rest of the body are going to lose their mind. It's like, you getting shot in the leg. You're shooting Palestinians, you're shooting, Ukrainians. It's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. The rest of the body is going to get the message, feel the pain, and get upset. And there go the protests. So the only way at this point you can go after national interest, only national interest, and value citizenship, and say, okay, no, we only go after national interest of us, our tribe. We are not all white. Some of us are Indians, and here is the paper I signed, which says me and you, Miss Coulter, are equal. Here's a piece of paper we signed. Yes, she may for a while, agree with you're equal. Yeah, sure. I mean, the fucking British had Nepalese soldiers fighting for them. They had to, pretend they value them or they think of them as equal or whatever they had to do, pretend they did it to get away with it, to have the fucking Nepalese fight their wars, and the Nigerians fight their wars, and the Indians fight their wars. The likes of Ann Coulter have no problem, brown and black people, and apparently even the Ukrainians and the Palestinians. Ann Coulter has no problem all them people dying for her cause, for her glory. I don't think so. But my point is this, that even your idea that I signed this paper, so give me some rights, I have to be equal, that's at least in your tribe, in the tribe of Uncle Sam, I have to be equal because I signed this paper. Forget about, that's not possible. First, even if that was possible, I'm saying that it's useless because the body has formed, the planet has formed, and you either, give global citizenship, because it has become one body. You just can no longer, because here's the thing, When you say I'm a citizen of this, that means I'm serving the interest of only this, my tribe. The problem is that serving the interest of my tribe, many times, it's a more often than not is a bloody sport. Protecting the interest of only my tribe is a bloody sport. I mean, especially if you're running an empire, then your interests are wide. You know, the sun never sets on the British Empire. That's the whole idea, that when your interests are so wide, when you feel you have the right to the to push other people off their interests and claim them as your own, as the case is in Israel, you know, as the case was in Ukraine when the Ukrainians nationalists tried to push the Russians out of their land, out of their country. When that happens, war starts. Protecting interests a lot of times, and you know, it becomes a bloody sport. That's why you know, emphasis on nationalism. Ukrainians started emphasizing on their nationalism by the help of Miss Blinken, you know, Mr. Blinken, and or you know, Victoria Nolan and her pals, her people who think like her, that you know, we should have a finger in every pie. They started encouraging nationalism in Ukraine. Ukrainians that started attacking the Russians in their country, the Russians who were living in Ukraine, trying to push them out, I guess. And then the Russians had to counterattack and protect their citizens in Ukraine, or their blood relatives in Ukraine. And again, going for 100% national interest ends in war. So, and now that they're all, you know, everybody has a nuclear weapon, you have to ask yourself whether we want a world government now or after the nuclear war. Because it's going to have, because of this neural network of the internet system, because of this neural network, you're one body. Just like you can, even though you were born in Uncle Sam's land, and good for you, even you, but still you wouldn't, you know, be impartial. If somebody says let's nuke India tomorrow, you wouldn't be impartial. It's sort of, but you're okay that somebody says tomorrow morning let's nuke, you know, Lebanon, let's nuke China. You wouldn't, you know, be too upset about it. Let's face it, it's not a contract that you sign. It's like Ann Coulter. It's that, you know, familiarity that gives meaning to your life. Well, start getting very familiar with the rest of the races on this planet, with the rest of the nations on this planet. In fact, you know, advocate for people getting more passports. Because people who really get more passports really hate seeing the other place that, you know, they like. And people, when people travel, they start liking many places. You know, somebody who has been to France and Italy and, you know, Egypt and Sudan, somebody who has done that has a favorite place in every country, has a favorite memory in every country, in every land, in every city. There is one good memory from every fucking trip to around the planet. So somebody who has like 5 passports and has visited 20 countries, stayed there for 6 months or more, is not really going to be on board with nuking anywhere, because they all have their hue, their uniqueness. So, but chasing national interest for Ann Coulter based on her race, and you know, AUKUS, and for you based on the piece of paper they let you sign? Seriously? You know, would you bomb India, you know, throw a nuclear bomb in India just because you have signed a piece of paper that says now you belong to this tribe? Really? You wouldn't. So why would you think, you know, why would you think it's okay for you to even think about bombing anywhere else beside India? You shouldn't think of it. So therefore it comes down to and let's remember protecting national interest ends up in a situation in which protecting national interest at any price, at any price. And as we can see, like 40,000 people have died in Western Asia now by the Europeans. 40,000 native brown skins have been, killed by the European settlers. And, that's interest, serving self-interest, whatever you want to call it. But, or whatever else you want to call it. But the reality is it's always a blood sport. I think this is a wrong-headed. It will not work. Going back to citizenship of nation-state citizen. Here's the thing. It's, global governance is a good thing, and it's let's say it's inevitable. Global governance is inevitable. It's just that humans went about it the wrong way. When you give the reins to George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, you're not going to go the right way. And, a bunch of, people who are, receiving money from lobbies, you're not going to go the right way. They're not geniuses. Then they have, human weaknesses. All of us have weaknesses, weaknesses associated with human personalities, issues, history, environment, family, education. All these factors that matter ended up with George W. Bush with a truck full of issues trying to bring about one world order. No, so they tried to do it by force. No, you have to bring about. Before it was it was a dream. Now, because of the internet, it's inevitable. Because you either have to cut the internet or stop invading other countries and attacking other nations and attacking other nations based on the idea of serving our interest is more important than principles. So we're going to attack them, and we're going to attack them because it serves our interest. That it will become more difficult and difficult to execute, because the bloody pictures are going to show up one way or another, because there is connectivity. If you want to go back to colonialism, and colonialism means nation state is everything. I pledge my allegiance to this nation state, so therefore to serve the interests of this nation state, I'm going to conquer as many other states that I need to conquer to serve the interests of this state. That, in the age of internet, cannot be done, because your own people are going to start throwing up in their mouth, watching images that makes them throw up in their mouth. Your own people, your girls and your old boys, younger people, because they're more in tune with their emotions and less worried about their mortgage. So they feel. Older people, they killed all their feelings. It's done. But the younger people still have some feelings, and they can't handle those images. And banning TikTok is not the solution. It's not. It comes in their emails. You think people can go back to emails and sending videos and pictures to each other through emails? Yes, they will do that. Is that going to stop the TikTok videos coming by TikTok? No, it will not. The only solution is, don't go for a united world order, united world government through force, through use of force. That will end in nuclear war. You have to have a world government, but not through force. Through literally peaceful agreements in United Nations and majority rule. Majority. It's like 50 and 51% of the countries vote for something. 51% of the population vote for something, and they can actually, make it 2/3, make it 51% or make it 75%. But this veto business, this, we are going to chase our interests, even if it means we have to stand against the rest of the world. The rest of the world are saying, please, chase some principles, and Uncle Sam's managers are saying, no, 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 we're going to, never mind, we're going to chase our interest. We don't, principles are not really necessary. Our principles are flexible. That's the Ann Coulter thing. That's, sort of like, if the other people who are dying, if they're, Anglo-Saxons, we worry about them. If they're not, fuck them. Salute. No, the nation states and citizenship will not work because of the internet. Nothing else. Just because of the internet. You want to go back to caves? No connectivity? Good luck.